Hello, this is RJ City, and I am ethically opposed to any more wrestling podcasts. I don't know why you guys are talking about wrestling. It is a niche product. It is a very small industry. Yet, at this point, there's more wrestling podcasts than there are wrestlers. There is something wrong with society as a whole, but as you get smaller and smaller into wrestling, and then the wrestling podcast sphere, it gets even worse. And one such example, if I may turn on the microscope and look at the drudgery that happens to be True Heel Heat. SP3, Sid, this is your fault.
Upbeat person, you're watching True Heel Heat. Yes, it is I, Holly Cameron, and I'm in your phones, but I'm also making an appearance for True Heel Heat. I've been told it's a fantastic podcast. Why haven't you had me on it, huh? Where's my invitation? I think you guys need to feel the right. I'm at Comic-Con today, but I think we need to get some rap in the show. So let me know.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3, and we are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube and Facebook for our NJPW The New Beginning in Osaka 2026 preview, where we break down the show for this coming Wednesday from Osaka, where it is a huge card filled with title matches, with grudges being settled, and we say goodbye to one of the greatest junior heavyweights of all time, Hiromu Takahashi. And of course, to do that, the gang is back together for the first time since we talked about the huge Tokyo Dome event on January, 5th? We talked about it on January 5th, following January 4th. And now we are back together 1 month later to break down the latest New Japan Pro Wrestling major event. First up, we got the MC of the past, present, and future of New Japan Pro Wrestling here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. It is your boy Jay News. How you feeling?
If I may, a little bit of a detour here. I'm feeling old lately. My back's gone out on me. I'm barely walking the last couple of days. Shit is rough out here, bro. Shit is rough out here. But on the wrestling side of things, shit is rough also. May I say? May I say? What the hell has happened in the last calendar month between the time that we reviewed Wrestle Kingdom and now that we're previewing New Beginning. I mean, it's the exodus of 2013 all over again. I don't know what to say. Like, it's no Hiromu. Sonata's indefinitely out, but still contracted, but he's not wrestling. I don't know what's going on.
Someone said that he's having a neck fusion.
Is that the deal?
This is what's been, I don't know, because every time I post about Sonata, someone's saying, oh, yeah, he's having, because I was like, oh, at first I thought he was going to be X in the Noah show. Spoiler alert, it was Yasuda's brother, Yusei. They really hyped, I mean, I love Yusei, I think he's great, but they really hyped it up just for them before the show, like a few days ago. Yeah, by the way, it's just Yusei, who's already a member of LTJ.
Yeah.
But it's because everyone was saying to me, that he's apparently having a neck fusion or something.
Oh, wow. So he gone, man.
Other than Hiromu, I'll be honest, I'm not really fazed by any of the people you just named. Not Sonata.
Listen,
definitely
man,
not.
Listen.
I know Evil departed too, but you know.
When you've got to start reviewing Evil for your shows when you do WWE, and then you'd be like, he's just coming back.
Yeah, Evil's gone.
I mean, I've decided I'm gonna be a fan. I'm gonna be a fan of Evil because the Evil is out of New Japan. I will be a fan of Evil being injected into WWE's product. I think that is what this company needed the most. But we got our third host, of course, as always, the most positive New Japan Pro Wrestling fan in the land. It is her life. It is Sonal's life. How you doing, Sonal?
I'm doing good. I feel like because of New Japan, I've been doing videos like literally every few days. I always put plans in place, and now it's like, oh, this person's leaving. Oh, this contract. I'm like, New Japan, can you either hire me or give me a break? Because I feel like all I'm doing is working, editing. All this news going on in the first month since Wrestle Kingdom. Still not over Tanahashi going and the new haircut. What do you guys think of the new haircut?
Oh, it looks good. He couldn't go a couple of days without putting highlights in.
He was like really professional, and then a few days like, oh well, it's basically the same color as normal. It's just shorter.
He's got a new talk show on New Japan World called President Talk, where his first guest was IWGP World Champion Yota Tsuji.
It's so funny because I remember when Liger retired, and Liger was like, "You're not going to get rid of me." He's like, "I'm just going to stay in the dojo." Tanahashi is literally like, he's the president. He's like, "You thought I was just going to be behind the scenes? This face doesn't belong. It's just behind the scenes."
Smart man right there.
I'll be back.
No worries. But you all know the deal. We appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all for watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. You could drop a thumbs up on the video. That helps out the YouTube algorithm. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. We always cover everything from New Japan Pro Wrestling. We got previews, we got reviews for all the major shows, including we will be back on Wednesday for on the day of New Beginning in Osaka. Me and J News will be breaking everything down that went down in the early morning, in the afternoon with you around the same time that we started this stream. So be on the lookout for that. Always hit the bell to stay notified so you'll know when we go live here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. And of course, if you're watching us on demand, we want to know what you thought, what you think about the upcoming event for New Japan. So give us your predictions, give us your thoughts on all the exits from New Japan Pro Wrestling in the comments down below. And if you're with us live, you could sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys and hear your thoughts on the New Beginning in Osaka event, your thoughts on all the exits from New Japan Pro Wrestling. And of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you can send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here. And we always appreciate the support. Like from Vala. Thank you so much, Vala, for the support. He says, the madness has to stop. Open your eyes to the truth. Jake Lee is a bum.
Can I just say though, yeah, I understand people's thought, but actually, if you watch his interview, he did the interview for New Japan. Because I personally like, whether he's a great wrestler or not, I always like characters. Jake Lee is a character I'm obsessed. It's a similar reason of why LIJ Evil I love so much. Why Switchblade JY. I love the unpredictable, the crazy, like everything about Jake Lee, from his ring gear, the fact he has like a little green contact lens in now, to the way he speaks in riddles, and the fact he's calling himself the Jester, his post-match. You can say a lot of things, but hell, Jake Lee is the perfect wrestling character. Like, he has, honestly, great.
Like, I don't understand how we could say Jake Lee is a bum when he's been great during the build to this matchup. It's been a great character. It's been a great rise to dominance, and really, we've seen over the build to New Beginning in Osaka, United Empire has usurped House of Torture as the #1 heel faction in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and a lot of that comes down to this rivalry between Jake Lee and Yota Tsuji.
Can I give also a shout out to Akira for that? Akira is doing. Like, I love Akira. I have loved Akira as a babyface. I think he was amazing. But as a heel, and his bond with Jake Lee, like, I know somebody said it looks like there could be a division, like there's like Callum's, United Empire and Jake, but the bond itself between Jake and Akira, both as heels, both as very different heels, they work so well as well. And it's, again, like you said, with everything wrong with House of Torture, again, Ren Narita has said it's not disbanding. He's deciding to hold the fort there, whatever goes on there. But the Empire are doing, like, they are satisfying the need. We've needed this for like 4 years. So better late than never.
Yeah, they've done a great job. So this is another thing. I disagree with Jay News, because I understand, there has been a lot of departures, but this does not feel like 2016. This does not feel like 2019. This doesn't even feel like 2024. 2024, I was worried for New Japan.
Was that like the Okada, Ospreay?
That's Okada and Ospreay leaving. I was much more worried for New Japan then. These departures, like I said at the top, outside of Hiromu, who also goes along with the rest of the people that depart, they've done everything in New Japan. Like, what else were you gonna do with New Japan? What else were they gonna do in New Japan? Like, Hiromu wants to be a junior heavyweight. He made that perfectly clear on his latest interview.
This is my problem. Like, if you follow me on social media, and I've got a good friend, Smark Infested, and because whenever we tweet about this, and I did a video about it, I was like, they should have moved Hiromu to heavyweight. He literally said on that, after the news came out, my dream is still to hold the heavyweight and the junior. Why are you pushing this agenda that he doesn't want to be a junior? It's same with Desperado, right? Between the two of them, they have always said that they do heavyweight stuff. Both of them have done it. But where are you getting this that he wants to be a heavy? And also, what is the thing of, I understand the junior division has been booked like shit the last year. We have said this. We have been saying this for time. Also, shout out. I hope we mentioned this. Shout out to Master
and that's the only reason why the Hiromu one is the only one that really hurts. That is really, it feels like a big exit for the company. Evil don't feel like no big exit from the company. Sonata, even if he leaves, is getting interviewed, I don't care. He has not been a positive to New Japan's content in a very long time. Clark Connors looks like he's going to be signing a dual deal, so that's not really that much of a big
Clark
loss.
Wasn't a big thing either. As much as he was never really pushed to the front. I know somebody said it was quite funny. They went, the reason I think awful Clark hated the idea of Wheelsan. He took Wheelsan to AEW.
He used it on Darby Allin on this week, and it looks like Gabe. It looks like Gabe is going to sign a dual deal, and we got the report this week with the report from Fightful Select that Clark Connors, is expected to sign with the company. Now the company has made it known apparently to Fightful AEW is now interested in David Finlay. So is that much of a big loss? And even though what I talked about with 2024, with the big losses then, Ospreay and Okada. Okada was just a part of the biggest New Japan show, probably of all time, at the Tokyo Dome. And Will Ospreay then showed up at New Year's Dash and set up a long-term storyline with Callum Newman. So that is not as big of a loss as it felt in 2024. That's why I very much disagree with anyone that's trying to put, and I've seen this agenda. I've seen it online all the time. And it's literally like 95% by people that,
dead.
Yeah,
it's not.
And I don't know about you, Sonal, but I think you would agree. It's 95% of people that don't watch New Japan who are saying this.
There was one video, I think it was last year, last year, that got 70, like tens of thousands of views. Okay, my videos, you know what, I hype up, like I get it. I don't do much controversy, I think, but the thing was, New Japan was dead, and I think I watched it, and some of the facts were wrong, and I knew straight away that this person's first company was not New Japan, because if anyone has been watching, I don't know if you guys have been following the New Beginning show, the Road 2 shows.
Oh, that was the other point. That was the other point I was going to make. The Road to New Beginning has made me not have any problem with these exits, because I'm like, this has been the most not missable Road 2 tour that they've ever done. Like, I watched every single show that was available on New Year, NJPW World, and if we were grading those shows, all of them would be 7.5 through 8.5 out of 10. Those were really good to great shows.
And you know how it's good? Because if we did review all the shows, I would even give a shout out to Bolton Oleg.
That match with Hartley Jackson.
Loved it. Oh, I was obsessed. Genius, did you get to watch it? Did you watch Bolton's match with Hartley?
No, unfortunately, I have not watched the Road 2 shows after the first one. And for all intents and purposes, the reason as to why I brought up the Exodus part isn't necessarily because of the feeling. It's more or less because of the amount of talent, I would say, or what they meant to the company. If I may clarify on that end, I'm not in the boat of New Japan is dead. That's just not where I'm at the end of the day. But I would have to say that I am looking forward to what is going about. If what you're saying rings true, SP3, about AEW being interested in David Finlay, that for one, that's a first that I've heard of that in all these years.
No, that was a big report from Fightful Select this week.
I was surprised because it's not like, for example, like the likes of Gabe and Connor who have been on AEW. I feel like aside from the joint shows they have with New Japan, like Forbidden Door, Finlay's not really been on that radar.
Yeah. He's had one match in AEW back in 2022 against Hangman Page. What I think is that Tony wants to do the War Dogs. That's what it seems like from what they're doing with Gabe and Clark. That he wants the War Dogs in totality.
So I agree with what you're saying, because for the first time in a while during commentary on AEW, they mentioned the War Dogs by name. So that's why I was like, oh, interesting. War Dogs. Okay. We'll see if everybody else comes in and follows ship. I would like to see that, because that's a different element to the AEW fan base. They're all going to be, I mean, outside of Gabe, they're all going to be relatively fresh and new to the AEW fan base. And David Finlay can still do what he's been doing in New Japan, just on a bigger platform. So, that's only going to be bigger for him in that regard. I'm not too pissed off about the evil thing. The Hiromu thing was a surprise at the end of the day. And was there anybody else who left that I'm forgetting?
Those are the two big names. It's really ones, right? Evil and Hiromu have been like the confirmed departures from New Japan, because Sonata is just a leave of absence right now. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Sonal, I know you wanted to talk more about the Road to New Beginning, and J News, you said you watched the first show, which was the best show. The best show. The tag team match of Rough Storm versus Ishii and Taichi, that set the bar for the best tag team match of the year so far.
Can I just say, like, because I know that there's a lot of people who will just watch the main shows, and that's fine. And I've always put myself, I watch every single show. And the New Beginning shows have been hit and miss for the past few years. Similar with like New Year's Dash and things. But this year feels like they were literally like, shit, Tanahashi, you know what? Tanahashi's gone now. But we are going to, like we were saying, New Japan not dead. We are going to prove that actually without those people, we're still amazing. Like, you mentioned the Ishii, Taichi versus Shota and Uemura. You had the amazing Never Six-Man match. You had the three last week, the three matches.
The mini G1 series between Hontai and TMDK.
I like obsessed with those. The Young Lion Cup was like, thank you for bringing that back in New Japan. That was hotly needed. Again, this is a tempt. I'm not gonna tempt fate, but possibility of Wato. I don't know if they're gonna do it, but if New Japan give me Wato beating Doki for the title, then throwing it up in the air, New Japan. This is the best start to New Japan has had ever. From the year that I've been watching it, they're gonna,
I was hyped last year with the start, but yeah, this because the Road 2 shows just have a different energy to them. It's totally different. You're 100% on the money, where it just really feels like everybody is really motivated to be like, Tanahashi set us up for a great year, and we are gonna live up to Tanahashi's legacy with how we're working every match like it's our last.
Also, random. We've not done a podcast since Shingo announced his wedding, have we?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we did. I'm not sure.
Guys, Shingo is married. He's literally, the whole narrative he had for 2024 and 2025, he was lying to us the entire fucking time. He was in a relationship and then got married. What? To Natsupoi. Sorry, I had to say this. I feel like it's kind of died down now, but this is still the biggest shock I've ever had as a New Japan fan.
Yeah. And I don't want to badmouth any platform, especially wrestling's. They're my brothers. We got Dustin who says talent will come back if they are in AEW. Wrestling's made a dumb statement about New Japan. I did see that video.
What did they say?
I think they said like something like New Japan is dead. Oh, everybody's leaving New Japan. It's like, dude, it's like two people literally are leaving. And if like
you mentioned, really, it's only Hiromu. But again, Hiromu's not been a big center of New Japan for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, all I'm glad to know is that KOB aren't going anywhere.
Exactly. That was if they left, I'd be on the bandwagon of New Japan. They're dying. It's all falling down.
It's all dying because Knockout, but the Knockout brothers say they're staying. And again, I never had, like, obviously the rumblings were coming out, but I never had any like doubts about it. I did a video about it, but the thing is, it's different because what are you going to tell me that these two are going to come back straight away? They're getting rocket strapped, even if, and we'll speak about the prediction, they lose the title. They are still two of the. They are bloody at the token shop on Valentine's Day. Like, they know the audience. There's also no real reason for them to go. Yuto has shared that he loves New Japan. He's Japanese. Oscar has done a hell of a lot as well to get into New Japan. Went to the Fale Dojo. Went, do you think they're going to come back for 5 months and go, bye, we're going to WWE? Well, I can tell you, Knockout Brothers is not translating to WWE. They're not going to be able to make that move.
No.
It's not going to work. You think that the bomber clap's going to work?
That early, too, in your run. Like you said, they've been back for 5 months. You can't make the move to WWE and think that's going to work out well for you.
Also, they're not, like, imagine an American audience with the bomber clap. It's not going to work. He's going to get cancelled before he even arrives in New Japan. I mean, in WWE. It's not going to work.
Big Man Noise. That's why I said best tag team match of the year was Shooter and Yuya versus Taichi and Ishii. Because yes, Wrestle Kingdom was this year, where the two other best matches of the year happened with Takeshita versus Tsuji and Tanahashi versus Okada. Which is still my match of the year.
A great start to the year. Tanahashi's left, but I feel like that, like you mentioned, SP has only spurred on, especially the younger talent. Like, just everything, like even something simple as Fujita making a whole storyline of him doing hole digging competition, and then in the evening doing a New Japan show, bringing his shovel. There's just something so fresh and new that I feel from all of the stars. A bit more fun, but a bit more passion from the young lions as well. Like everything just feels great.
Everybody just seems way motivated to just like make sure that this is a real new era, even though that term has been completely played out by Flawed Paul over in WWE. But we got Big Man Dogs who says Jake Lee's interview was very good, and if he manages to have a 3.5 with Tsuji, I might have to apologize to Sonal and Jake for my rude words about Jake in the comment section. I mean, I've been on the Jake Lee bandwagon.
Yeah, I think there's a real like dramatic thing of how bad people say Jake Lee is a wrestler. Like, it's not like he's not done anything in his career. The whole point of this is that he's going to be like the triple. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
And also, when it comes to Tsuji, he's one of those guys you can trust to always bring out a good to amazing match in people.
Yeah.
So
he had 3.5s with Evil.
So I need an apology now. I'm not waiting until afterwards. Because alone, the character-wise, Jake Lee is a star from that. He's already brought something very fun and interesting to New Japan with his character after coming back. So, yeah. I need an apology now.
She's like, yes, run that apology right now.
Just start it now.
We got another super chat donation from Volup here. It says, with Tada not being in the ring, I think he spends all his time stepping on Gato's neck. They feel like they got something to prove. Great comment there. Great super chat donation by Volup. But yeah, it really feels like Gato's kind of staying out the way, kind of just pairing people up that he knows is going to have good matches with each other. The only kind of like below like 7 out of 10 show that I think the Road to New Beginning was the one that had House of Torture in the last 2 matches. The junior.
Oh, it's because House of Torture expanded, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's still House of Torture, and Evil was still around. So yeah, that was never going to be good.
We just say Evil, pre-Evil, post-Evil.
Pre-Evil, post-Evil. Now post-Evil, they seem to be very much in the mid-card. I can deal with them in the mid-card.
Never division's fine. Keep Narita there for a few months.
Hey, nah, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
But not the 6-man belts. No. Keep them away from the 6-man belts. Jesus.
Yeah, the 6-man belts, man. That's the best part of the Never Openweight division right now. Oh man, but yes, it's been a great start to the year for New Japan, and I think it was Volup earlier in the chat mentioned something else that I wanted to highlight. Yeah, the show in Ideon Arena next Wednesday is already sold out, so I think that's
Jake Lee Impact.
I mean, you're not wrong. But we've been seeing this consistently for the start of the year. Like we said, the Tokyo Dome, over 46,000 in attendance for Tanahashi's retirement. New Year's Dash was up from the year prior. The Road 2 shows, I think most of their Kurgan Hall shows have been either near sellouts or officially sellouts.
They looked hyped during it.
There's a different energy from the crowd. There's a different energy from the performers. So this just feels like I think it was Big Man Dogs in the chat compared it more to 2016 departures, where it was big to lose AJ Styles, the Good Brothers, and Shinsuke Nakamura, but it was softened by the fact that Kenny Omega stepped up. Tetsuya Naito stepped up. You get the juniors are stepping up. Ospreay and Ricochet would go on to have that spectacular match in the Best of Super Juniors. It feels more of like that year instead of like 2024, where it took a while for New Japan to rebound from losing Okada and Ospreay.
I mean, it took until this January.
Pretty much.
Took until Wrestle Kingdom, really, if you think about it.
Really, it did. It really did. It took them coming back as guest stars for us to get the vibes back. But anything else we want to mention before we get into the matches? Anything else you wanted to mention about the exits from New Japan, J News?
No, not really. My apologies, everybody, about the scraping in the background. I was actually getting work done here in my apartment while I was on the microphone. So things are happening. You know what I'm saying? Things are happening. Things are happening.
Can I just bring up one thing? It's really weird though how the departures have been different in terms of like Evil. It was just a sudden Evil's gone, but
Right.
Hiromu is getting his, not in the sense of he's going to be the main event, but he's having. So I think on the 8th he's got a match against Yasuda, a singles match, which is again nice because in the post-match comments Yasuda actually said that he wanted to be under the tutelage of Hiromu. Obviously Hiromu's leaving, and if he joins LTG, then that tutelage will go to his twin brother. But then he's got the match at New Beginnings, but it did just feel weird that Evil just like left. Like literally he had a show, which he wasn't even the main thing, and then just went bye.
So what do y'all think about the report of Evil heading to WWE?
That's the only place he can go, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, but like it is a weird signing for WWE, even though they kind of have gotten the people that are on Evil's level, like the God and Hikuleo and Jeff Cobb. I would say Evil is probably the one out of that bunch who has like the best credentials as far as like all the achievements that he got in New Japan, but it just still feels like a weird signing for them unless it seems like they are putting some type of stable together with Shinsuke Nakamura maybe over on SmackDown. What do you think, J News?
I feel like Evil's arrival is going to dictate the exit of Shinsuke Nakamura. I think Evil's just taking over for Shinsuke. That's my belief at the end of the day.
You think Nakamura's retiring or he's heading elsewhere?
No.
He's come back to New Japan.
Saturday night's, what was it? Saturday night's main event where him and AJ went at it? Nah, man. Nakamura got plenty left in the tank, bro. Nah.
That was great. It was fantastic. Fantastic.
Nah, man. Ain't no way. Ain't no way, man. Ain't no way. But yeah, that's my personal thought. I got no news, nothing from Fightful Select. It's just a good brother Jay News saying I feel like Evil will eventually become Shinsuke's replacement at the end of the day. And I feel not for lack of anything, just based on WWE's creative plans and how they've booked present day and former Japanese talent. And this is a slight to Evil. He's better suited for that role for all intents and purposes. So that's really where it's at the end of the day. So that's my take on that. And I just wanted to give a shout out to the United Empire boys. They're doing great work. I think we should also talk about, just for a couple of seconds, I say seconds, WWE re-signing the grand old TJP back to their company. Because,
did they?
Yes, they did.
That's
why
news to me.
why didn't I hear that?
This is last week. And
who reported that?
I'm searching it now.
It was one of those things I read through. It was one of those things I read through. It was a viable source. It wasn't anybody like Wessel Votes and shit like that or whatever the case is. But
Russell Votes is a viable source. I did see him. I did see him on the Lucha Libre Triple A event, and he did win the number one contender for the Triple A Cruiserweight Championship. But I didn't hear any news about him signing.
Yeah,
he's going to be exclusively used there.
Okay,
so that's the main deal or whatever. And obviously because he's a West Coast guy, going to Mexico is not a big of a deal for him. So it makes sense instead of him having to travel to Japan and all that shit like he hated doing.
Well, keep him away from the Empire. That's all I care about.
Well, he's in Triple A, so yeah.
Also, can I say again? I don't know if we mentioned this because I don't think we've been on. Callum mentioning that he is on a multi-year contract.
Yes.
That was very interesting for me when I heard those posts. I think he said he's one of the only Gaikokujin on a multi-year contract.
Yeah.
Very interesting to me. Shout out to Callum for that.
Yeah, I'm happy.
They must really see something in him to do that.
Yeah. So yeah, a couple of news notes there. As far as like Hiromu, we'll talk more about that when we get to the matchup here on the show. But Any other things y'all want to mention? Send a super chat donation, but keep commenting in the live chat. We'll highlight a couple of those as we talk through the matches. But let's get into this card for next Wednesday in Osaka, Edion Arena. The New Beginning in Osaka, as we always do for all of our pay-per-view previews. We'll start with Sonal. Give us your 0 to 10. What is your anticipation level, your hype level for next Wednesday's show? New Beginning in Osaka.
Actually, like an 8.5. I'm actually very excited. Maybe even a 9, actually, because the Road 2 shows have done a hella good job of like exciting me. Obviously, there's some things I'm like, well, there's going to be House of Torture, so that's sad. And it's sad because it's Hiromu's leaving. But actually, like the mass amount of it, I'm quite excited for.
Yeah, I would say I'm at like a 9 out of 10. I'm really anticipating. New Beginning in Osaka usually is New Japan's best show of the year. Last year, it was the best show of the year. I think this year it's shaping up where it's going to be another great show. J News, what about you?
I'm at a solid 8. I am going to catch up on the rest of the Road 2 shows this weekend since I am not walking much, but hey, it is what it is. I'll catch up on the shows, and I probably, it'll probably get higher before we do the review on Wednesday and such. But yeah, man, everything's looked good so far. Also want to mention that Shomakato and Murashima will be going on excursion very, very soon. So the Young Lion crop will probably add another 2 guys to the forefront of it. Because a lot of them are working their way around things. I believe Zane J is a part
of United Empire. Not believe. Yeah, he is a part of United Empire. They did that whole angle on in the Young Lion. Yeah, in the Young Lion Cup where he got disqualified due to the encouragement of Callum Newman to hit him with a steel chair, and then he's been part of the United Empire since then. He's basically taken on because JAY has elevated to official member of United Empire.
He's no longer the electrician of the Empire.
Yeah, Zane J is now the electrician. He is the young boy of the United Empire now.
But also what's interesting is Nagai has basically said he's not doing an excursion. He said in a post-match comments, he was like, oh, they're going on excursion, but I think that's like the cheating way, like the shortcut. I want to do it like the long way. I don't know what that means. But yay, if he gets to stay, because obviously
the Fujita way. The Fujita way now. That's what I call it.
Well, the Fujita way, he still kind of went on excursion because he did like shows in like Australia and stuff. So I feel like that would be something that he could do.
Shows. He didn't do any like long-term like actual excursion. He mostly stayed in New Japan.
I think it'd be cool. I think you need a guy to stay.
I mean, hey, he can stay in Asia. WXW is popping right now. They got wrestling in India, baby. You know what I'm saying? So he's got places to go.
There's wrestling in Korea as well. There's bloody wrestling everywhere.
That's right. That's right. Korea's popping up as well. So wrestling is definitely on a large scale growing phase right now, which I can appreciate.
Very excited.
Yeah. So we got a pre-show matchup for next Wednesday. It's going to be the finale for Shomo Kaito and Katsuya Morishima as they're going to team up to face Toge Makabe and Tori Yano in tag team action. Of course, Morishima and Kaito coming off the heels of their really good finals to the Young Lion Cup, where Morishima was the one who picked up the victory, got the trophy courtesy of Hiroshi Takahashi. Sonal, what did you think about the Young Lion Cup final between Kaito and Morishima? Well, who do you think is going to win this matchup? And what do you think about the future for Kaito and Morishima, who are going off on excursion after this show?
Well, actually, Kaito is doing CML shows. He's doing the Fantastica Mania because I think.
Oh yes.
It was great. I don't think I was surprised that those two made the final. Because the only other person would be Nagai, but I really think they're pushing Nagai as a smaller guy, as a junior heavyweight.
Yeah.
So again, especially if he is staying and not doing excursion, it doesn't make sense for him to be in the final. It was great. I loved how you could tell the difference in them. So, for example, Murashima was really focusing on his power and weight, but actually Kato was getting quite technical. which is going to be interesting. That he's going to Mexico, so it'll be very interesting to see if he comes back sort of a bit like a Tsuji. As like we've always said, Tsuji is so well rounded in every form of like he obviously did UK, Mexico, and he's got Japan. And I'd like to think that is actually something that Kato is going to be. And I don't think they've said where Murashima's going yet. I don't think they've hinted at anything. So it'll be interesting to see. I'd love him to come to the UK. I'd love watching. I remember watching Shota and Tsuji do theirs, and like Okan as well. It's always so fun to be able to watch them live grow as a character.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that for them.
That's selfish of me in SP3.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to see my man. I've been a big Morishima fan ever since he kind of started. He's been my guy, and I always say if it's a Young Lion match and the Young Lions are going against each other 9 times out of 10, even if he's not in the matchup, I'm gonna go with Morishima because he usually wins. So I was smart to go with him to win the Young Lion Cup, which he did. So I expect big things from him. I hope he has a good excursion, and yeah, I would love for him to be in the UK. Maybe even get some CMLL reps as well. I think Kaito is going to develop very nicely in CMLL coming off the heels of the Fantastica Mania shows. But of course, in this matchup, I'm going with Toru Yano and Toge Makabe because it's 2 young lions teaming up with each other. They're probably going to lose.
Even before Excursion, there's never been anyone who's magically managed to beat a veteran.
No, not even the New Japan dads. No, they ain't willing to lose to you. J News, what about you? What do you think about Kaito and Morishima making it to the Young Lion Cup final, and of course their excursion, and then this matchup?
So as for the matchup, yeah, I'm with you guys. Obviously, we've been watching this stuff long enough to understand that the New Japan dad's going to win this match. They're probably going to get their asses beat before they head on out. So it is what it is there.
Especially Makabe will be really salty, I can imagine.
Yeah. Murishima's going to get the piss beat out of him quite a bit by Makabe. I will say this, Shimakato going to CMLL is a good look. For whatever, I have this feeling, I don't know why, nothing confirmed, but I have this feeling that Murashima might end up doing what Ryohei Oiwa did and just go over to Noah at the end of the day, just so you can get a different look.
Send Murashima to DDT.
That would be fine by me at the end of the day. That would be fine. I think that him doing a tour of like the other Japanese companies would be kind of cool, having like different stints there, just so he can understand what the differentiation in styles and training styles is like. And yeah, man, I'm all for him also doing an excursion in the UK or Europe and stuff like that, so he can learn different styles. But it'll be interesting to see as to where he goes. I'll be paying close attention to Shimakato over in CMLL to see as to where they pair him with, if it's going to be with with Okamura-san and stuff like that, like they usually do with the Japanese talent. So we'll see if they get paired up over there. But yeah. New Japan dads for the win. Wishing the best for these guys as they go on to their futures and stuff like that. I wonder who the highlighted young lions are going to be going forward at the end of the day. Yasuda's been sort of inconsistent for me. I know Zane J just joined the United Empire, so there's that of it. Since Daiki Nagai is not going on excursion, as he said. What's going on there, and then obviously there's Matsumoto who's still left, and then he's got
quite a lot of potential with him joining the Goto Revolution.
Yeah, he's a part of Unbound Company.
Yeah, so there's that for Daiki and the guy, and then Matsumoto's there, and then there's the 2 new guys that have been ringside, but I haven't seen them wrestle as of yet.
There's the guys from the Fale Dojo, isn't there? So there's 1 Japanese and then 3 guys from the Fale. From what I've seen. Don't know anything about them though. But...
Yeah. They got a gang of guys around ringside nowadays. It looks.
I wonder if it's going to stick that, because we've seen in the past the people being brought from the Fale Dojo come for like a tour and then we never see them again.
I wonder why. But yeah, we got the opening matchup on the card is us saying goodbye. Like we said the last time we did a podcast together, we said goodbye to Hiromu Takahashi, and now we have to say goodbye to Hiromu Takahashi. Hiromu Takahashi, back to back, saying goodbye in big shows. Hiromu Takahashi will team up with his Unbound Company stablemate Taiji Ishimori. Just when I was getting used to this tag team and said they were future junior heavyweight tag team champions, Hiromu had to say goodbye, as they will face United Empire's Francisco Akira and Jacob Austin Young, JAY. This rivalry really sparked up during the New Year. First at Wrestle Kingdom, when Akira made his return and laid out Hiromu post-match after United Empire beat the unaffiliated War Dogs. Then at New Year's Dash, once again, Akira attacked Taiji Ishimori following his junior heavyweight tag team championship matchup. And then Hiromu made the save. He made the challenge to Akira for a matchup. They had a great preview tag where Hiromu teamed up with David Finlay against Callum Newman and Akira on the JAY on the Road to New Beginning. Great matchup, a brawl that went throughout Corrigan Hall. We had Akira, who's picked up wins over Ishimori as well as Hiromu on the road too. So we'll see if he can get one more win. He basically has stated his goal is to take out all of the pillars of the junior heavyweight division, starting with Hiromu and Taiji Ishimori. He's made references to El Desperado and taunted him when he's been at commentary. So we've been really seeing this new edge to Akira since the heel turn for the United Empire. So who do you think wins this one in our first round of United Empire versus Unbound Company? We'll start with Sonal. Who you think is going to win? What have you thought about this rivalry with Unbound Company and United Empire? And any final thoughts on Hiromu Takahashi?
I'm with you, SVC. That I do like Robbie and Ishimori, but I thought with Robbie not being permanently in Japan, I thought great. Ishimori and Hiromu, the tag team we never thought was going to happen, and then Hiromu left. I think just for the sake, I feel like Ishimori is going to get pinned, probably by just because I think on the way out, with Hiromu going, and if we're now elevating JY, who I still don't know how I feel about JY. There's something about him that's not clicking with me, but that probably just because he's not really had a chance to shine. But yeah, it feels so bittersweet that we're getting Hiromu team with Ishimori, a team that could do so many good things, two of the pillars, and then he's leaving. And I think the whole thing with Hiromu leaving is a surprise. The funniest thing was these WWE rumors.
Oh man.
It's they all came out, so I did a video about it, and then literally I think 2 days after, Hiromu was I still have a dream to win the junior title and the heavyweight. I was okay, so that kind of means that so I think someone mentioned it earlier about Hiromu possibly being freelance, something about what Naito and Bushi doing, because imagine just Hiromu turning up anywhere. One day he's doing a Noah show. Then a week later he's doing a match in DDT. Then he's going over to, I don't know, AEW. Then he's coming to Rev Pro. I think that would be the best course of action for Hiromu.
Yeah.
I would all Japan if he wants to.
We jokingly talked about it on Fightful Overbooks in the Wheeze, me and Jeremy Lambert, and Jeremy Lambert just put all these ideas in my head of I was did this whole spiel where I was I think Hiromu will be successful anywhere he goes, and then he brought up that rumor, and I was now he said he'll probably be they would probably think that he's Hikamanjaro and just make him Jacket Time 2.0.
I think I mentioned this on the thing, and someone said, "Oh, it's changed since you watched it." But I can't imagine. I was basically pointing about how, when I watched WWE, and I was obviously thinking the smaller guys, and I'm gonna bring up, I can't remember his name. This is another thing. I can't remember half the names on to have had. There was the was it
Ikamanjaro? Ikamanjaro.
Oh, no. He's on WWE at the moment.
Oh, he's on WWE.
Yeah. He's just
Zawa.
Yeah. Right. And I was saying, and someone's oh, but it's changed so much. And I was right, Hiromu is not just Japanese, albeit his English is quite good, is his promos with Finfin. But he's a smaller guy and he's Japanese. I I don't know what they'd book with him. Do you know what I mean? I've yet to see a Japanese wrestler in general, especially a Japanese smaller guy, be booked in a way that gives me hope of Hiromu going. Hiromu doesn't deserve that.
Yeah.
Like people also have to realize, like, the case in point is Kushida. Like, you can always say, oh no, but things are different now. Triple H was in charge. Kushida was only on NXT. He's been under Triple H, and he was booked not good. He was not booked well. He's been under Triple H and Shawn Michaels, and he wound up in Jacket Time and thus left the company.
And now he's running over in Contra and MLW. So big ups
He
to
finally turned heel. Yo, I had to tweet about that earlier today. I was like, oh my God, I just saw Kushida turn heel. That was the first full MLW show I watched, and it was a good match with Kushida and Templario, and then he turned heel. I was like, what world am I living in? I've watched Kushida for what, 15 years. I've never seen him be a heel.
I feel like MLW does well with the Japanese contingent that they've had over there. I can see Hiromu taking some time and going over there if he wants to travel over to the States. So that might be something that he wants to do. I just wanted to mention something, man. I saw someone. There is a wrestling account on YouTube. This particular guy, I won't mention him by name. I don't want any beef at the end of the day. But what I wanted to say is that he reported that Hiromu rumor to the WWE as factual, as if, yeah, he's going to the WWE, like this is going to be a big deal, like the New Japan guys that are coming over with Evil and Hiromu, and it's like, brother, you don't watch New Japan. You don't watch New Japan. Hiromu ain't going to the WWE, fam. Like, what are you talking about? In my head, I said to myself, if Hiromu's leaving, he's going. He's doing the independent thing. He's gonna join Naito. He's gonna join Bushi. The scarier thing would be if down the road next year comes and Shingo leaves. That would be something that would be like beyond me. And his contract is up next year, so I don't know what's gonna happen at the end of the day. But it just seems like the members of LIJ, they ain't with the shits over in New Japan, man. And that it's telling to a certain degree, but there's also a lot of new blood and stuff like that in New Japan as well for people to look forward to. So I'm looking forward to seeing as to what Hiromu's going to be doing with his career in the future. And it'll be entertaining at the end of the day. So I don't have more matches against Mao. Give me more of that.
just literally, like, I know SBC, you're not a big DDT fan, but actually DDT have done really well. They've been having their like young Lion Cup of sorts, having their young guys wrestle each other at the moment. And for all of the intents and purposes, there are a few characters, one particular who is less than great to watch. Actually, DDT is full of some amazing young talent as well. I think Hiromu would fit in perfectly there. Like, there are so many matches that I'd want to see. But then again, I think the best thing for Hiromu would be just travel around, just do every promotion humanly possible. Do GLEAT, I don't know, just anything.
Yeah, and it's a good point with Big Man Dogs. Yeah, I think that a lot of the people that do watch New Japan and follow Japanese wrestling are pointing towards Hiromu going to Noah, because he had that excellent matchup with Amakusa at the New Year's show. He had that run with the GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship towards the tail end of 2025. He was kind of like a person who kind of turned things around for their junior heavyweight division, where Amakusa has been having some great matches since he won the title from Hiromu as well. And I think Noah's been off to a good start this year. And of course, Tetsuya Naito and Bushi being over in Noah as GAC heavyweight tag team champions also points to probably him joining Los Tranquilos de Japón. I think the final things that I could say about Hiromu in New Japan Pro Wrestling, regardless of if he comes back in the future or not, he has already cemented his legacy as a top 3, top 5 junior heavyweight in this company's history. He has been so important, such an anchor, and it's crazy because he only came back in 2016 after Excursion when he was Kamatashi. I remember the first time I saw him was when he was on Excursion in the United States for Ring of Honor, and I used to go to all the Ring of Honor shows in New York. That was the first time I saw him. I think he was aligned with The Addiction, Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian. And then he comes back as the ticking time bomb towards the end of 2016. He has that excellent rivalry with Kushida, beating him at Wrestle Kingdom 11 for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Everybody and their mama, if you were watching New Japan at that time, will remember and bring up the freaking 3-minute matchup, the rematch that they had when Hiromu destroyed him with the sunset flip powerbomb and beats Kushida in like 3 minutes. And then that led to Kushida having to fight through the Best of the Super Juniors tournament, put on that instant classic with Will Ospreay in the final and win there. And then finally he was able to defeat Hiromu for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship at Dominion in 2017. Then he would win the Super Junior, Best of Super Juniors, his first one in 2018 with a great run. And then he put on an instant classic with Will Ospreay at Dominion. I was sitting front row in 2018 at the G1 special in Los Angeles, and I saw Hiromu get dropped on his head and break his neck in front of me. That was the first time in my life that I ever remember being at a show and seeing like that type of injury, that serious type of injury that Dragon Lee did on that move that he pretty much has never done ever again after that matchup. So the rivalries, the matches with Dragon Lee will always be remembered. That's one of his like career rivals as well, to go along with Kushida, to go along with Will Ospreay when he returned from the neck injury and beats Will Ospreay in 2019 at the Tokyo Dome at Wrestle Kingdom, and probably one of the greatest junior heavyweight matches of all time. All the Best of Super Junior runs I always talk about, and me and Jay News, it's up on this channel, our review of the 2020 Best of Super Juniors finals with him and El Desperado, the greatest match of El Desperado's career, where he rips off the mask and has that moment with Hiromu, winning 4 Best of Super Junior tournaments, 5-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, the matches with Ishimori, the matches with Despy, the 2023 IWGP Junior Heavyweight title run, which is probably the best of all of his title reigns in New Japan, when he had that great Best of Super Juniors run where he had that instant classic with Speedball Mike Bailey and Kurgan Hall, with Leo Rush during that tournament, the semifinals with Teton, just instant classic after instant classic, some of the greatest junior heavyweight matches of all time. He defined junior heavyweight wrestling. There's only 2 junior heavyweights in history that I will say is on par with Hiromu or greater than Hiromu, and that is Jushin Thunder Liger and the original Tiger Mask. And when you are in rarefied air with those guys, you have cemented your legacy. You had nothing else to do here. Hiromu can leave a happy man that has left his mark on New Japan Pro Wrestling. Any other thoughts on Hiromu, J News?
Can't disagree with any of that. Like Big Man Dogs, I don't know too much of 80s New Japan myself. I'm a mid 80s baby at the end of the day, so I started watching in the late 80s. All I knew was Tiger Mask. I got introduced to Shinjiro Otani. At the end of the day, he was main junior in the 90s with Liger. At the end of the day, and we had the Junior Revolution came outside of the scope of New Japan during the 90s. There was War. There was other promotions in Japan that just took the junior style to another level. And Hiromu is basically a student of all that at the end of the day. And he brought that very fast, high-paced, in-your-face style back to junior wrestling when he came back to New Japan after Excursion and stuff like that, man. But he's going to be missed, man. He's going to be missed. But the juniors in New Japan now got to take that ball and run with it, right? The juniors have to have their version of Tsuji in their division, right? And Fujita might be that guy, but I don't know yet.
I think the problem with that is the junior division has talent, but it's the booking that's got to do something. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, like I was mentioning, I've got all bloody hot and excited because Wato pinned Doki, but I'm not gonna count my chickens before they've hatched.
Yeah.
Because hell, we've been wanting Wato Mania for years, especially me and you, J News. And they keep teasing it, and once again they're teasing it. But until I see Wato with the belt, I'm not gonna have any hope in the pod.
And to your points and all, they have to book him right? So because at the end of the day, if they give Wato the belt, he gets the belt, sure. So then what is really more or less the thing? So that there's that of it. They've got to fix the booking over in the junior division. It does look Hiromu leaving leaves a big hole there, but I hope that one of the younger guys or all of the younger guys step up and make the junior division a guiding light for New Japan Pro Wrestling in the years to come. But you got to give them some time, and somebody's got to make a big change. I don't know, but that's all I really have to say about that.
They gotta build around the youth. Like I know he probably wants to dabble in heavyweight as well, but Shomo Kaito is on the lighter side. I think he should be a junior. Daiki Nagai, he needs to be one of the kind of the stalwarts that they build up in the junior heavyweight division. And the guys that have kind of been struggling to break that glass ceiling, the Master Watos, your Kosei Fujitas, your Francisco Akiras, those need to be the new big three. You got to use the guys like Despi and Ishimori and Robbie Eagles and Kushida to build those guys up. It has to be one of those younger guys that win the Best of Super Juniors tournament this year, and it needs to be one of those young guys that has a long run with the junior heavyweight title this year. So I'm right there with y'all. I've been on the way to the Grandmaster on the road ever since his Best of Super Juniors run in 2023. I believed in him. I wanted him to win the title then. It's been 3 years on. You need to pull the trigger. Shit or get off the pot is the saying to sell Gato at this point, especially when it comes to the junior heavyweights. You got to get this title off of House of Torture. House of Torture is dragging the whole division down.
Speak the truth, SP3.
But I think we're all in agreement. United Empire wins the opener, and I think Akira pins Hiromu on his way out.
Yeah, and you think that
so Hiromu does business on his way out. That's the deal.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Makes sense. Yeah.
Then we got another tag team matchup involving this warfare going on between Unbound Company and United Empire, as it's going to be the War Dragons, Drilla Maloney and Shingo Takagi. They're teaming up to face United Empire's Hanare and the Great Okan. These four men went at it very physically at the New Year's Dash, and they've been going to war ever since on the road to New Beginning. A couple of big injuries to the babyface side of this for the War Dragons. You had Shingo Takagi, who suffered a rib injury at the hands of Hanare and the Great Okan, and he was out of action for the last couple of Road to New Beginning shows. Drilla Maloney suffered a recent injury on the Road to New Beginning, and he was pulled from the rest of the tour. It says as of now they are going to be a part of this matchup on this show, but they're coming in banged up. So who do you think is going to pull out the victory here, Sonal?
I had a joke that Shingo wasn't actually injured and he went on his honeymoon.
I mean that's probably the case, because that was a storyline injury for him.
Yeah. Interestingly, when I was watching the Road 2 show, Drilla has been not as interested in Unbound Company as the others. If you watch the most recent show when they all went for the their new version of the fist pump, Drilla was seemingly not having any of it. So that will be, I sort of wondered if Drilla might turn on Shingo and maybe, and this would be a first, go back to the faction that he left when he first joined.
Go back to United Empire?
Yeah, that'd obviously be first, but the United Empire now is very different to the United Empire that he joined under Ospreay. So I think that's going to happen. Obviously, I wouldn't like that to happen because I think Drilla and Shingo are one of the best teams. They have great merch. They just work well together. But I think either that's going to happen or Driller's gonna get into Shingo's head, and they're maybe gonna break away.
Okay. Who you got, J News?
I mean, just based on the information you just gave me, I'm going to give this to the United Empire boys. Hanare's been on fire since he's gotten back. They need to light a fire under Okan's ass at the end of the day, in the ring, that is. Character work is fine at the end of the day for Okan. But in the ring, they need to light a fire under Okan's ass, and with Hanare there and doing what he's been doing. And obviously the Knockout Brothers need more competition at the end of the day. Put the new hot tag team in there against them down the road. I feel they beat the War Dragons here, especially if the War Dragons are as beat up as people say they are. And yeah, man, shout out to Shingo Takagi marrying Natsupoi at the end of the day. I was not aware that was a thing. That was
nobody literally was. It was probably the best kept relationship secret I've ever seen in wrestling.
Yeah, so and they basically, not something that's very traditional to Japanese couples. They made it very public when they did it, right? Japanese people are usually very private with things of that nature.
There's been like 4 videos on Shingo's YouTubes.
Yeah, like he posted it, she posted it, then New Japan posted it. I was like, what's going on here?
Do you know what I love is that on the article with them married, because obviously the story is basically after his match with Goto, basically he was like, let's get married. On all of the Japanese newspapers of they're married, there's a picture of Goto, who's basically been dubbed the reason that they got married.
People, they started the rumor he was the officiant.
I love that.
Hiroki Goto was the justice of the peace.
Yusuf in the chat, he says Shomo Kaito is 100 kilograms. He is a heavyweight SP3. I'm going to call bullshit on that. Because basically what they're doing is the reverse Shingo Takagi and Drilla Maloney. They are basically fudging up the numbers to make him a heavyweight when he can easily be a junior heavyweight. If Shingo Takagi was ever a junior heavyweight, I'm sorry, Shomo Kaito can be a junior heavyweight.
Do you know, someone called me out. I said that. I said the biggest lie is Driller and Shingo being juniors. And someone called me out for fat. They were like, you're fat shaming, you're body shaming. And I was like, I'm not. They're like, that's not nice on Driller. I'm like, why? I'm not body shaming them. I'm just saying, as someone who's watched Driller, right? Yes, he cut down some size, but that man is still very, very big.
He is. He's a large human being, but it did sit when he was a junior. The downsize was stark. Like when he leaned out, I was like, "Whoa, bro, what happened?"
I think his is more understandable than Shingo, but I'm still there. Like there was probably some matches he was over the 100.
Yeah. But for all intents and purposes, Shomo Kaito being 100 kilograms, I can see it. It's 225 pounds. He put on all that weight at the end of the day. All the gym going that he's been doing, and all the iron pumping he's been jamming it up. But I also agree with SP3. Like, yeah, those numbers are a little bit fudged. He can still be a junior heavyweight if they need him to be at the end of the day, because he is a smaller, shorter guy from a height standpoint. So him being at that weight can lead to some problems down the road. So maybe getting a little lighter in the butt might help him out if he needs to.
It's better for his long-term future if he was a junior heavyweight, and it would help the company as well.
Probably.
So.
I mean, I said this years ago with Ren, that I always thought Ren should have been a junior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I still, to this day, in 2026, I still stand that they should have made Ren a junior.
I agree. Yeah.
Because he's had to keep on the weight, and that's why he keeps on his shirt.
Yeah. I mean, it's true.
It is what it is. Like, I'm not fat shaming. I'm just telling it what it is.
But the thing is with Ren is his style would have worked so well, because obviously we've got Despy who does groundwork and like Uncle Nobu, but actually we need a proper, like, obviously not House of Torture, but when he was with Suzuki and Despy, And even when he was a young lion, it was a lot of his was based on like submissions and groundwork. And I thought, oh, he could be like the next Zack Sabre Jr. And I thought the junior division needs that. And then that all went to shit, didn't they? So don't mess it up again. If you give us some, and the thing is, New Japan have to make the young lions want to be juniors. They're not making it very enticing, are they? If you put, especially at the state it now, do you want to be a junior or a heavyweight? No one's gonna go, I want to be a junior.
No. Yeah, exactly. And I know about Kaito posting up the picture. I'm sorry. People themselves can also fudge up the numbers. And just because a scale said it in a picture doesn't mean that it's actually true, sir. I'm just letting you know. That is not proof. That is not the proof that you think it is. I stand by what Jay New said. Is probably better for him long term to be a junior.
Yeah. It's better for him long term from a health standpoint. It has more to do with his body composition and things of that nature. You know, it's science stuff, guys. But
it's different to Murashima, who seems to have generally quite a big build, and it would seem quite tough for him to get down to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, Kato's built up size.
Yeah,
so
he's put it on. Yeah,
he could easily lose it again.
Yeah.
And I think that might be better for him to be, when he returns, a big fish in a little pond like Hiromu was.
Right, and to expand on the point you were making, so now I think like differentiating styles in the junior division would bode well for New Japan, and they need that. So, and I get it, like Sonal was saying as well, like the junior division hasn't been booked well, but they need the bodies so that they can book more matches, so that, you know, these guys can get more exposure, so that the junior division can go up a level or two and things of that nature. So we'll see. So
a big man dog said 100 kilograms is 220 pounds. That's a lot. The guys like Taguchi and stuff, they're like on the cusp as well. Like I think Taguchi's been built at like 95 and stuff. So really, 100 it's a lot, but it's not too. Do you know what I mean? There have been juniors who've been very close to that cusp before. Again, like Taguchi is pretty much like 95, around the 90. So it wouldn't be too tough for Kato to do it, especially the size and what he has been when he first started in the dojo.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go to the third match on the main card. It is the Never Openweight 6-man tag team championship matchup, and it's a rematch from the Road to New Beginning Day 1, as it's going to be Bishamon of Yoshihashi, Hiroki Goto, and Boltin Oleg. They will defend the Never Openweight 6-man tag team championships against TMDK, Zack Sabre Jr., Roye Uyawa, and Hartley Jackson. These 6 men went at it for the Never Openweight 6-man tag team championships in a terrific match at the Road to New Beginning Day 1, with Bishamon and Boltin Oleg picking up the victory to become the new champions. Since then, they've battled in 8-man tags, in multi-man action, and then on the final Road to New Beginning show that was on New Japan World, they had basically a best of 3 series, which saw Boltin Oleg pick up a win over Hartley Jackson in a straight up banger that went all around Kurgan Hall. You had more of a technical wrestling clinic between Zack Sabre Jr. and Yoshihashi, with Zack once again beating Hashi, who still has never defeated Zack Sabre Jr. one-on-one. And then in the finale, it was Hiroki Goto who beat Roye Uyawa in a great match to close the show to win the series for Bishamon. Who's going to pick up the victory here at the New Beginning in Osaka and walk out the Never Openweight 6-man tag team champions? What have you thought about this feud, and who wins on Wednesday, Sonal?
I've loved this feud. I kind of didn't want this rematch so soon, like, because we had it, obviously TMDK won it, then they lost it, and now it's like a rematch again. I've actually loved the matches. The matches have been great. The build-ups, the 3 matches were all the right decisions, like Hartley not winning, Zack winning, and I don't think it's time for OUR to beat the Goto yet. He's not at that stage. I hope, and I never thought I'd say this about Boltin Oleg, I hope Bishamon and Boltin retain, even though I am a confirmed member of TMDK. But I would like to see Zach and Yuya go to the tag belts, like the heavyweight tag. I'd kind of like to see also something with Hartley. I know like Hartley's a bit older and stuff, but actually he proves he's like put him in some never matches, put him in some singles matches. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he's more than proved himself that he's not just because he again is someone that they've given the electrician role to, and I feel like that's kind of a disservice to Hartley after like all the years he spent. So I'd like that, but I don't think it's time, and I don't think Zach belongs in another division. Really, like. I mean, he could if he wants to elevate it, but I just think also something about when Goto and Yoshihashi won it, about them wanting to beat that because they're the longest reigning when they were with Ishii. Something about them wanting to surpass that, and I'd kind of like to see something like that. And also, like, I think Bolton is doing well under Bishamon. Like, I've already seen worlds of improvement from him. And like how he, after his, or was it before the match with Hartley, he did some of his promo in English. That hit with me. And I think that if we can see this continuing and keeping him with this never belt, I will be happy to try and follow Bolton's progress.
I wouldn't mind it either. I just, unfortunately, because Bolton, Bishamonten won the best of 3 series, I think that this is going to be another instance of a V0 for the never open weight 6-man tag team title.
I guess Hartley would get pinned, wouldn't he? That just kind of makes
no. I think Hartley probably gets the win back on Bolton.
You said okay.
Hitting Bolton. Yeah, I think TMDK are winning back the never open weight 6-man tag team championship.
I mean, I won't be upset at that. It happens.
J News, who do you think wins on Wednesday?
It's all about the sentimental value for me. So I'm going to pick TMDK for the win here. Justice for Hartley Jackson. At the end of the day, it is necessary. And I also agree with Sonal. Side point. What the hell is Zach doing in the fucking never open weight 6-man tag division at the end of the day?
Hey, this division is one of the better ones going on in New Japan right now, I'll say, between this rivalry here.
I guess so, but like I'm just so used to him doing his singles work and stuff like that. And I brought up WXW earlier. He's making his first appearance over there this week, I believe. So he's enjoying his trips out to Asia as well. It is quite an interesting time in professional wrestling right now. But yeah, TMDK for the win here. I still got no love for Oleg Bolton. He's got to show me a lot.
To be fair, we'll go and watch his match with Hartley.
Okay.
And there's a promo he did where he spoke in a bit of English. I think it was either the one before or the one after. I'm not saying I'm a Bolton lover now, but I'm just saying that I can see
the progress.
I can see the light.
Okay. All right. I will try to go. I will try to go into it with an open mind. We'll see how it goes.
He won't.
If you don't trust Bolton, trust Hartley, because Hartley was a major component of why this match was so good.
Took one of the sickest bumps I've seen in a while.
Okay.
I was genuinely like worried for Hart. I was like, this might be the end of Hartley's career.
I was like, you're 45, sir. You should not be taking these bumps in Kurgan Hall.
Anyone shouldn't be taking those bumps. Never mind a 45-year-old man who's a super heavyweight.
Yeah, it was like 300 plus pounds. Yeah, that's not good. And he was great on commentary as well during the Road to New Beginning. So got to give it up for Hartley. Then we got the 4th match on the card, one of the more anticipated matches on this show. It's going to be deciding the number 1 contender for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, as Gabe Kidd, representing Unbound Company, goes against another representative of United Empire, Andrade El Idolo. I wonder if there's going to be some Japanese women in the crowd that he wants to take selfies with Andrade, as these two men got into an intense brawl at the New Year's Dash event following a 6-man tag between unaffiliated War Dogs and United Empire. The brawl started, and then they were separated. Gabe Kidd made the challenge for the New Beginning in Osaka to determine who's going to get the next shot at the Global Heavyweight Championship, with Kidd being a former global champion and Andrade holding a formerly white belt in New Japan Pro Wrestling, the Intercontinental Championship. These two men are going to collide. We've seen most of them in AEW where they're not feuding, but Gabe Kidd has been embroiled in a rivalry with Darby Allin following his loss to him at World's End, while Andrade has become one of the best wrestlers in the world again and is one of my favorite characters in all of wrestling, with his aura farming Lothario arc, as he will now be facing Hangman Adam Page to determine the number one contender for the AEW World Championship coming up on February 14th. So he's got this match on the 11th. He's got Hangman on the 14th. He's going to be a busy man. He's making a strong case for best in-ring wrestler of the year so far in 2026, with back-to-back bangers against Swerve Strickland last Wednesday, and then this past Wednesday defeating Kenny Omega. He's defeated Swerve and Omega in back-to-back weeks. Will he defeat Gabe Kidd, or will Gabe Kidd set up a rematch with Yota Tsuji for the Global Heavyweight Championship? J News, what have you been thinking about Andrade? I know you watch AEW. What have you been thinking about him there, and who wins this matchup on Wednesday?
For all intents and purposes, I just want to say that professional wrestling is going to continue to professional wrestling. I mean that by saying this. Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors this past Wednesday on Dynamite committed a felony. They committed a felony on live television.
They did.
They dragged a man with a car and left him in the middle of a desert. And they kidnapped
in a body bag. In a body bag with tape over his mouth and tape over his hands.
So at the end of the day, they committed a felony. And that's the War Dog vibe I appreciate. Now to Andrade here. This man, and this makes all the sense in the world in my head canon, so I'm going to put it out there for you guys. Yeah, he's got the girlies in the front row. He's getting digits, kisses. They're feeling all up on him and stuff like that. If he's bringing this energy to New Japan Pro Wrestling, this is the perfect way to bring Peter back to New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is the perfect way to bring Peter back to New Japan. She doesn't have to be with the broke-ass pimp and Takahashi over there for the HOT. She can come back in all her glory and just be the vision that she is next to Andrade for all intents and purposes and things of that nature. So that is just me and my headcanon wanted to bring Peter back to New Japan. But the match to the match itself, I think it should be a good match for all intents and purposes. I think this is the best Andrade's looked in the ring in quite some time. Like dudes putting on banger after banger after banger. As we all know, Gabe's no slouch. So I think this is going to be a real good match. Could this lead to some future faction warfare? Sure. I can see that. On American TV if they allow it at the end of the day. War Dogs versus
that's not happening.
Hey man, listen, man.
They're both heels.
Doesn't matter.
In AEW.
Doesn't matter.
It's not happening.
Doesn't matter. We've seen heels versus heels and good guys versus good guys.
We are probably more likely to get War Dogs versus Death Riders before War Dogs versus DCF.
We'll see. DCF is common ground for everybody at the end of the day. Everybody hates on cows. So there's that. But I think that the match is going to be great. For the win here, but because of the streak that he's on, I feel Andrade will get the win here, just for posterity's sake. But it should be a good match. I just don't know what they're gonna if news is right and Gabe's gonna be dual contracted. I just don't know where Gabe goes from here, from the New Japan side of things. Right?
I think he'll only do the big shows for New Japan. He won't be as like on. It's pretty much like how he did the Road to New Beginning. He wasn't really on the Road to New Beginning. He's here for the big show. I think it's going to be more like that for Gabe moving forward.
Yeah. So, at the end of the day, yeah, but the big shows aren't bad, but they also still need time to like build up matches for them and stuff like that. So there's got to be there's got to be a middle ground that they got to reach there with Gabe and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I think that if all goes well, this is probably going to be match of the night. If all goes well,
it has the potential to, if he gets time, because it is fourth on the card. It's not always guaranteed to get a lot of time. If they get 15 minutes, though, yeah, this could be a show stealer on the card. But I agree with you. I think Andrade gets the win, and it sets up Andrade versus Tsuji for New Beginning in USA. Yep. Sonal, who you got? And what have you seen anything from Andrade?
No, I've been on a pro-wrest hype. I've been trying to watch New Japan and then DDT and Tokyo Joshi at the moment. So, I think Andrade. I think whatever status Gabe's got, I don't think they're gonna have Unbound Company facing Unbound Company yet, until maybe they decide they really want to split it up. I also think interesting. If it's gonna happen, I think that obviously main event Tsuji's going to win, but I think there's a possibility he could drop the global title to Andrade, because remember he said the IWGP title is by New Japan talent, and the global title I will take it and contract it other places, and he's had that for a while, that belt. Obviously he went into Wrestle Kingdom with it, so I think that might be something. This is just me planning book. It might be completely wrong, but that's what I think might happen.
I mean, you might be onto something, because I could see Andrade winning it at New Beginning USA, and then that sets up later on in the year probably an Andrade challenging for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Especially if he wants to be a bit more prominent in New Japan.
Yeah, and being that they have definitely, as an AEW has worked so hard to elevate him into the main event scene in recent weeks, it would only justify it from an international standpoint as well for him to challenge Tsuji down the road, as long as Tsuji stays champion at the end of the day. So
yeah. I honestly, I'm on the tip of we need like a 30-minute draw between him and Hangman at Grand Slam Australia, so they could do Hangman, Andrade, and MJF. We've seen a lot of Hangman and MJF. Throw Andrade in there. He's too good right now. You can't have him lose after beating Omega and Swerve back to back.
I feel like he'll beat Hanger, bro. If they really want to go the extra mile right now. I feel like he'll beat Hanger. Yeah.
I mean, I don't see it, because that's heel versus heel right now. So
who cares? Everyone hates Max.
I mean, yeah.
And mind you, he has a little bit of sympathy now, right? After Brody just beat the crap out, he just squashed him. He's got a little bit of sympathy from that.
He don't got no sympathy from anybody. Everybody popped for that. Oh, but yes, let's go to the next matchup here, which is probably kind of even more than the main event, probably the real source of this rivalry between United Empire and the Unbound Company. As the previous match is a number one contenders match, this is just a plain old grudge match. David Finlay going one-on-one with Callum Newman. Callum Newman has had a lot of animosity, a personal vendetta against David Finlay ever since Finlay 2 years ago at the New Beginning in Osaka 2024. He was responsible for the Bullet Club War Dogs defeating the United Empire in the Dog Pound Steel Cage matchup, which proved to be the final New Japan Pro Wrestling matchup of Will Ospreay, and thus took the United Empire into this whole whirlwind where they kept losing different members, like a TJP, like a Jeff Cobb. They lost every single title that they had. They had these serious losses where the group was in tatters at probably this point or a little bit later, like the spring of 2025, where it was Callum Newman who stepped up and replaced Jeff Cobb after he left the company at Duntaku and took the challenge to Hiroki Goto in the best match of his career and coming up just short. Then the G1 Climax, they had only their second match against one another where Callum Newman defeated David Finlay, got a measure of revenge. But then we saw in the World Tag League at the end of 2025, this slow, simmering, slow burn heel turn come to fruition for Callum Newman as he turned heel and he was driven over the edge by David Finlay and Hiromu Takahashi, who defeated him and Great Okan to basically eliminate them from qualifying for the finals or the playoffs in the World Tag League. And this drove him to the deep end where he brutally attacked and bloodied David Finlay at the World Tag League final, which set up the big 10-man tag team matchup at Wrestle Kingdom, where Callum Newman introduced his new version of United Empire, where he has completely taken the reins of the group. He invited in Jake Lee, he invited in Andrade, and they have taken the fight to not only the unaffiliated War Dogs, but ever since the transformation and transition into Unbound Company, he has made them the number one target for United Empire. And all we've seen on the road to New Beginning is brawl after brawl that cannot be contained from these two men setting up this grudge match. This is the most personal rivalry in all of New Japan at this point, and it's going to be a big matchup in regards to the future of David Finlay in New Japan Pro Wrestling, with all the rumors surrounding his contract expiring. This could be the final big matchup that he has in New Japan, but it's a big one for Callum Newman as well, as he recently re-signed with New Japan, a multi-year deal. Who do you think is going to pick up the victory between these two men, and what have you thought about this rivalry, Sonal?
It's been great. I mean, I don't know. There's still some Callum haters out there, but I don't know how you could, after the past few months that he's had, this feud has been electric. Like, it's been a while since I've seen two people genuinely just want to murder each other, and it's great. You know, I think Callum has come on leaps and bounds. His character work is amazing. Finlay, obviously, I've always had praise for him, except that one time when he was trying to be Jay White. Just that one point. But
Jay White meets evil.
Yeah, the combination of all the Bullet Club leaders. But this feud has been great to watch, really personal. I think Callum's gonna win, just because Callum needs it. I think if they're gonna keep pushing Callum to be one of the top stars, especially, they have faith in him with this multi-year contract. Like, when has this ever happened? I've never heard of it, and Callum said as much. So I think they really got big things for him. And again, depending on what is going on with Finlay's contract, it would be the perfect sort of segue into maybe him going to AEW. You know, I mean obviously I'd assume he'd be dual contracted like a lot of the other War Dogs, but just to maybe have him there for a while to set up the War Dogs being in that company.
Jay News, what have you thought about this rivalry between the two men, and who wins on Wednesday?
I feel like this has been this whole heel attitude shift change run for Callum Newman is gonna be one of if not a very quintessential run in his wrestling career. That's one. Secondarily, I'm never going to take away David Finlay's ability to help elevate younger guys in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I feel like this match is going to definitely continue to do that for Callum Newman. I don't necessarily know what David Finlay's contract situation is as per SP3 earlier. If there is genuine interest from AEW, would I mind seeing him there? No, they just have to do right by the character, that is, you know, the boss dog and all that jazz or whatever. But it's still gang warfare here. It's Unbound Co. / War Dogs versus United Empire here in this particular match. The leaders of their groups. If people don't want to consider Callum the leader, I don't know what you've been watching lately, but that's that. And David Finlay. Yeah, I don't see him winning, man. I got Callum Newman in this one. I don't see David winning here.
Oh, I agree. I think Callum Newman, this is an easy win for as far as like me going for him. This is easy for me to choose Callum Newman in this one. I just think that it's too important to him as far as like where he's going. And early prediction, I think Callum Newman's going to win the New Japan Cup.
Wow. That's a big deal.
They really are showing, this contract alone is showing that they have got stocks in that man. And also, I think I remember in an interview he did last year, I think ahead of the Goto one, he seemed really quite insistent that he was, I don't know his current living status, that he wanted to stay in Japan. He was even saying like he wants to stay roots and get a family there. So it seems like he is someone who, again, maybe like the likes of Zach, where they're not really worried that he's just going to go off. And so they are willing to invest in him.
That's not bad, man. That's not bad. And I know I used to get a lot of shit for being a Callum Newman fan at the end of the day, but you know, who knew that the kid had this in him? I didn't, but at the end of the day, it's been a great showing since the turn. So I just want to see more. Obviously, like SP3 said, the win is more important to Callum in this case, and I have no doubt that David's going to make him look like $1 million at the end of the day. So this is what I feel like this is what this match should be for. And we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's going to be probably the most physical of all the matches, probably outside of the semi-main event. I think this and the semi-main event are going to be the most physically intense matches on the card. But we got between that and the semi-main event, the Never Openweight Championship will be up for grabs as Olympic gold medalist and Never Openweight champion Aaron Wolf will defend against the new leader of the House of Torture, Ren Narita. Ren Narita is trying to get revenge for his former leader of House of Torture, Evil, who has left the company coming off the heels of his loss to Aaron Wolf for the Never Openweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom. Since then, we've seen Ren Narita and the rest of House of Torture attack Aaron Wolf at different times, whether it's after multi-man matches or during multi-man matches, using the push-up bar to knock out the Olympic gold medalist. Who's going to pick up the victory with the Never title up for grabs here? J News.
I mean, if this ain't a freaking Aaron Wolf layup, if I've never seen one, man, I don't know what is. That man's gonna go on the largest winning streak in New Japan history at the end with the way they booked him coming out of Wrestle Kingdom. Ren Narita ain't nobody right now. He ain't nobody. He ain't nobody, man. Aaron Wolf retains. He retains in solid and a dominant fashion at the end of the day. Ren Narita ain't got no hope, man. He ain't got no hope. Aaron Wolf for the win.
Sonal, what about you?
You think that, J News, but when it comes to House of Torture, I don't. In theory, Aaron Wolf should go on this 5-year never open weight reign with the love that he gets every time he steps into the ring. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see now that Evil's gone, the trajectory of the House of Torture matches. Do you know what I mean? Especially the title matches. Because for all intents and purposes, Ren has had more matches than any of the other House of Torture members without interference.
Sure.
He had do you know his match with Zach?
Yeah.
Like, he can do it. So it'll be interesting to see post-Evil if we can see House of Torture moving more towards I'm not holding my breath, but I think this match will showcase if the future is changing under Ren or if it's still going to be same old shit. I don't know. Again, it's a bit like the Evil match. I was surprised by the match happily, but I don't know if this can happen twice with House of Torture.
So is it unspoken? Is Ren the new leader? Is that where we're going?
He's basically said it. He's the one who said House of Torture is not disbanded, and he's gonna get revenge because he's blamed Aaron Wolf for Evil fucking off.
You know what, man? The House of Torture right now is leaderless. They've got no guidance. There is no North Star for the House of Torture, and that's also a part of the reason as to why I'm picking Aaron Wolf, and I'm sticking with it.
I'm with you. I'm going with Aaron Wolf, 100%.
I'm hoping. I'm really goddamn hoping.
But the matchup that I'm looking forward to the most, even more, like I really think that Gabe Kidd and Andrade could steal the show. I'm really looking forward to Callum Newman versus David Finlay. The never openweight 6-man tag team matchup was excellent on the road to New Beginning. It's going to be excellent once again here. But the match I'm looking forward to the most is the semi-main event for the IWGP Tag Team Championships. It is the Knockout Brothers, Yuto Ice and Oscar, defending against the number one contenders, Rough Storm, Shota Umino, and Yuya Uemura. Rough Storm defeated Tomohiro Ishii and Taichi in the best tag team match of the year at the Road to New Beginning, Day 1, a physically intense callback to All Japan Pro Wrestling of the 90s tag team wrestling. And earlier in the year, I thought that the bar was originally set by Yuto Ice and Oscar, who defeated TMDK at New Year's Dash in a fantastic tag team matchup. Now you put these two teams together who have a lot of history. The Knockout Brothers are 2-0 against Yuya and Shota, defeating them at King of Pro Wrestling in an excellent matchup there. They also had another very good matchup in the World Tag League where Yuto Ice and Oscar picked up the win again. Can the Knockout Brothers go 3-0 and continue their spectacular reign as the IWGP World Tag Team Champions, or will Rough Storm finally achieve greatness? They had that great promo following their win against Ishii and Taichi, where Umino talked about his journey and his struggle, his connection with the fans, and feeling lost at certain times, but needing that victory that he got there and needing to win these IWGP Tag Team Championships to turn it all around. Will Rough Storm conquer the storm and finally beat the Knockout Brothers here? Sonal, what have you thought about the build to this matchup? Who wins on Wednesday?
I love Yuto Ice. I love Oscar. I think they're great, but I think we always say first reigns don't have to be too long. And I think Yuto and Oscar have done an amazing job of setting it up. I think that the worst possible thing would be to have Uemura and Shota lose, because goddamn, you can't tell me that they're going to lose 3 matches. Like, if they have said and they have KOB win, which again I won't be an issue, I will literally, when I go to Japan, I will go to the New Japan office, I will grab Gato by the throat and ask, what the fuck are you doing with Shota Umino? The man is getting, the thing is, right, and I'll say this, I know everyone on social media goes, oh, Sonal, you just like, I have a soft spot for Shota. I have since he was a young lion when he came here. And I don't like the hate he's getting, because it's all, I understand there's issues like going on with what's happening with Shota, but a lot of the hate that Shota gets is very personal, when actually the issues surrounding Shota come from just how poorly he's been booked. He should have beat Ospreay. Did you remember that amazing match he had against Ospreay? That should have been a thing. Shota has been literally the worst victim of bad booking I have seen as a New Japan fan, for someone who had so much potential. This feud has been amazing. I love it. I love KOB as champions, but if Shota doesn't win, like similar actually Uemura was also really struck for things, and it shocked me that the only thing he's actually won is apparently he won the King of Pro Wrestling provisional title. Apparently that's a thing. Yeah, he did. But obviously that doesn't really count. That 2 guys, when they were in the dojo at the peak, have less important wins than Ren Narita.
Yeah.
There's no logic. So I know that people are going to be like, Sonal, KOB, but actually KOB have done what they can at the moment. Now, you can give it to Shota and Uemura, have them have a back and forth, have Yuto and Oscar do the New Japan Cup and some stuff like that, really focus on Unbound Company or whatever's going on there. Have Shota and Uemura do it, because they're doing very well as a team. But I promise you, if Shota loses, something is going horribly wrong when people are booking Shota, because I literally, like, it's making it hard to be a Shota fan, because it's so painful.
Yeah. Nah, I definitely understand that. He has probably got the worst booking of all the Reiwa era of New Japan Pro Wrestling so far. Shay News, what have you thought about the build to this match? Who wins on Wednesday? Who walks out IWGP World Tag Team Champions?
I've loved the build to this. I've loved the intensity, the fervor, the tenacity in all these matches, the tag matches, the proper tag matches, the multi-man tag matches. The interactions between all four of these guys has been great and fantastic from what we've gotten. I don't see the Knockout Brothers losing the belts this early. That's just my personal feel. I won't be mad if Yuya and Shota win. I'm not going to be fair.
It's been 5 months. It's not that short, really.
Yeah, it's not that short. They won back in September.
Oh wow!
So
okay,
months
I mean, so that what is time at the end of the day? There is that. Putting that into perspective. Okay, I'm looking at that differently now. Because at the end of the day, it's my New Japan brain, and then time, and then putting it together, and it's like I said, I wouldn't be mad if Shota and Yuya win the tag team championships here. Are the Knockout Brothers still as hot right now as they were when they first got to back
more
to
so. More like I said, they've got a special event on a Valentine's Day at the token shop. They're getting everybody.
Yeah, that's why I feel that, and that's the feel that I got, that they're still as hot. That's why I was like, in for me, I feel like they retain here because they're still that hot and they still want to ride that wave. Not that it. I don't think that if they have a great match, if Shota Umino, Yuya Uemura, and the Knockout Brothers have another great match, it only bodes well for everybody included. So we're gonna then go into the New Japan Cup. It could be something better for Shota, a better showing for Shota Umino, maybe. Better showing for Yuya Uemura, maybe, because they're originally single stars, not a tag team. So they can ride that wave of momentum, if anything. I just don't see the Knockout Brothers losing the belts here, with how popular they are, with how hot they still are, and stuff like that.
But actually,
yes.
Shota has been getting quite a few cheers recently.
Has he?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, KOB is so popular, and when the challenge was first set, there was a lot of boos. But actually, in the past few matches, him and Uemura, I'm not going to say they're on, like, the level of KOB, because KOB are unnaturally. But there have been Shota chants. The crowd really does seem to be warming towards Shota and Uemura as a team.
It's as a team. It's not really just Shota on his own.
Yeah, it's like them together.
It's Rough Storm. That's why I'm going with Rough Storm to become the new champions. They just you have to crown them after that performance against Ishii and Taichi. That was a game changer for them as a tag team, and you can really make this a cornerstone rivalry that it's got. When was the last time the IWGP World Tag Team titles were in the semi-main event of a big show? It's been quite some time since it had that level. It's at this level because, the Knockout Brothers are hot, but also you have a hot number one contenders to put them against, and two guys that they are building this company around. You have to capitalize on that and elevate them, so they need this win. They need this win a lot more than the Knockout Brothers do. So that's why I'm going with Rough Storm.
I also think it's the right time, like you're saying, with the tag division being so hot. Thinking back, because I remember I was really annoyed that the tag belts weren't defended at Wrestle Kingdom. I think it was actually advantageous them being the main event of New Year's Dash.
Yeah.
And now seeing that, like you said, what world on a New Beginning show was a tag belt going to be semi-main event? And that has come from Knockout Brothers. And I think with that, they can pass it on to the next, still be there. But for example, SP3, if you were saying, because you and Jane, you said that Bishamon lose the Never belts with Bishaton, could Bishamon then move back to the tag? But then you've got Hanari and Okan, and then Drill it. Do you know what I mean? The tag division is actually very strong at the moment.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a good time for Oscar and Yuto to be like, it's like they raised the division and now they can see the fruits of their labor come to fruition.
And then you can also, like, to coincide with what Jay News is saying, where he was saying Rough Storm loses, and then you can give them kind of single pushes in the New Japan Cup. It's better actually if you have the Knockout Brothers lose, and then you can try to see Yuto and Oscar as singles in the New Japan Cup and see what they can do on their own. I think that is more advantageous to the future of New Japan Pro Wrestling if you try them out as singles coming off of this tag team loss. And I think we will not go through the rest of the year without another Knockout Brothers tag team title run. I think that they will win back the tag team titles, but right now it's the right time for Yuya and Shota.
It's because the tag division's at its strongest. They can afford to maybe try something new. And like SB3 said, the team of Uemura and Shota is something that fans are being like, actually, this can work. These are two guys who really haven't lived up to their potential. They were rivals. They've come together. And like SBC said, it's that match against Ishii and Taichi that really, I think, opened eyes to, like these two can work together.
Can we give some credit where credit is due to the 2/3 of Team 150? I mean, goddamn, for them to put on that match and do what they do at their ages. Ishii still putting on bangers. Taichi not far behind. Former AJPW hands. Like, these guys they're doing the Lord's work, man, and they're really helping elevate the younger guys. And
but can I just say, like, Jenny, you mentioned that. Can you imagine us saying this 7-8 years ago? When Taichi was in Suzuki-gun. Oh, Taichi, congratulations, you're helping. I've always sort of liked Taichi. Again, it's a character thing. But I remember hearing Taichi go home. And like the whole catchphrase I remember on English commentary was anyone but Taichi. And it just shows that how Taichi's babyface turn and his change in people's views is probably one of the best I've seen. Like, it was so natural and everyone loves him. He's like the father figure now in Hontai. He's the one taking care of Shota. He's posting pictures with the young lions. It's a world away from Suzuki and Taichi, I can tell you that, and I really like it.
But like you said, they're another part of this tag team renaissance that's going on in New Japan with the War Dragons, with United Empire. You got Bishamon, you got TMDK, you got the Knockout Brothers, you got Rough Storm. It really feels like this is the freshest the tag team division has felt in a very, very long time. And honestly, like I said, this is the match I'm looking forward to the most. This is also the match that I think it has the best chance of being like another 5 stars for New Japan. All 3 of my 5-star matches this year have been from New Japan. The 2 at Wrestle Kingdom and the Rough Storm versus Team 150. So we'll see what happens on Wednesday. But finally, we will get the main event for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Yota Tsuji will defend against Jake Lee. Of course, at Wrestle Kingdom, Yota Tsuji won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship for the first time, retaining his Global Heavyweight Championship in an instant classic against Konosuke Takeshita. Following the matchup, as he celebrated, he was attacked from behind by the newest member of United Empire, Jake Lee. This kickstarted the whole rivalry between Yota Tsuji's new faction, Unbound Company, which was the former members of the Bullet Club War Dogs and Unaffiliated, coming together under Yota Tsuji, who brought also back the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. It was Jake Lee who was on the opposite side of wins from United Empire against Unbound Company at New Year's Dash, at Wrestle Kingdom, and along this Road to New Beginning tour. Yota Tsuji turned down the first challenge from Jake Lee for the championship, saying that he had to prove himself. And then at the Road to New Beginning Night 2, it was Jake Lee who attacked every single member of Unbound Company after pinning former IWGP Heavyweight Champion champion Shingo Takagi during the 10-man tag team matchup. He then laid out each member of Unbound Company with knees to the gut right in front of Tsuji as the rest of United Empire held him to make him watch. And then he made a challenge, speaking for the first time since his return at Wrestle Kingdom, made the challenge one more time to Yota Tsuji, saying if he's man enough to accept, and Yota Tsuji did, and he said it would be at the New Beginning in Osaka. It's Jake Lee has been very weird with his operation gloves and his weird facial expressions, but it seems like he says that he is destined to become IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Will it happen on February 11th in Osaka, or will Yota Tsuji continue his reign? Sonal, what have you thought about the build? Who wins on Wednesday? Who walks out IWGP Heavyweight Champion?
I will forever be a supporter of Jake Lee just for his character alone. Has made this so interesting. Because Tsuji is great, actually. Tsuji has always been good with character and stuff. But this is something different for Tsuji. He's having, like, yes, he's dealt with crazy people before, but this man is crazy. Like, I remember the post-match comments on the last one. He was like, oh, if I lose, should I just join Unbound? Or, like, saying to Tsuji about joining Empire. There's so much psychology in this. I will point out, as someone who doesn't like the dentist, Jake Lee's decision to bring out the glove, and that wasn't for me. I was like, this is not for me, Jake Lee. But I love all the psychology and everything. I also like that they're actually doing it as, like, not unifying it. That they have separate matches for the global title and for the IWGP, which also shout out that actually now, if you were a holder of I believe the new, like, the heavyweight belt, that you're counted as being, like, a global
like, Intercontinental champion.
Yeah, Intercontinental. I quite like that. I like that because that was one of my favorite belts.
Yeah.
I have Tsuji winning, but I think that this is going to be a lot of fun. And actually, I think a lot of the crowds are really reacting well to Jake Lee, especially in Japan. Like, he has this aura about him that is just, like, hypnotizing. And considering you're basically putting two of the biggest characters next to each other, because Tsuji has such a distinct character as well. And I think this is, like, I know people were really hating on it and, like, oh, Jake Lee was awful pick to be X, and oh, he shouldn't have done it. But actually, then if you look at the parallels of what happened with Naito, also it's very weird to watch Noah today, and obviously Naito, they actually brought up the Wrestle Kingdom with Naito, you know, when Kenta jumped on Naito. So I like that mirroring as well. And I think, again, Jake Lee is just, whether you like him or not, he makes you talk about him. You're gonna go, that guy is fucking weird. And you know what I mean? I always say, rather be really liked, really hated, than no one caring about you.
That's fair. That is fair. So you're going with Jake Lee?
No, Tsuji, obviously. I love Jake Lee, but not that much.
I just had to. I'm sorry. Jake News. Who you going with?
It's interesting, everything that Sonal just broke down about Jake Lee. Initially, when Jake Lee came to New Japan after his run in Noah, I was relatively excited just because of what I had seen from Jake Lee and Noah gave me some hope at the end of the day. Unfortunately, he got injured right away, didn't get to see much of it. And then now he comes back with this disassociated sociopathic character, right? And he is, he's weird, right? He's a weird dude, and it's okay to be a weird dude. I just don't think it's okay to take the strap off of Tsuji yet. That's just my opinion at the end of the day.
I genuinely think that if they're going to have Jake Lee lose, just because I then think, I'm going to link back to what I've said with Andrade, that, because obviously the United Empire, I feel like they're going to give that, so then it's not like, oh, United Empire win again, oh, United, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. But there's if Jake Lee's going to be used as this character for New Japan, he can have, based on what he's given us character-wise, he can have his hands in so many different things. and cause so much psychological harm to wrestlers because of how weird he is. It can be a macro story being told in the shadows, basically, right? Which would be interesting storytelling from New Japan and very intricate storytelling from New Japan if they decide to go that route, especially with a guy like Jake Lee. My hope for this match is that it's a good wrestling match, right? So that Jake Lee can put his haters and his doubters to freaking rest at the end of the day. Because I don't, and like I said, I haven't watched his whole career. I watched what he did the last 2 years that he was in Noah, and I liked what I saw. But the dude's a former Triple Crown champion. He's a former GHC heavyweight. Like, there's just no way he can be that bad. You know what I'm saying? So I need to, like I said, I need to see more. Hopefully, he rises to the occasion in ring wise with Tsuji. But this match, Jake Lee loses, but I feel like the psychological warfare against Tsuji will continue, which will lead to just a longer term feud and things of that nature. But yeah, Tsuji for the win.
Yeah, I think that United Empire is going to dominate this war that's going on throughout the New Beginning card. I got Akira and JAY beating Hiromu and Ishimori. I got the War Dragons losing to Great Okan and Honore. I think Andrade is going to beat Gabe Kidd. I got Callum Newman beating David Finlay. But the streak will not be perfect. It won't be a perfect night for United Empire. I think that the leader of Unbound Company will win in the end. I think Yota Tsuji has to hold on to this heavyweight title for a little while longer. But I think post-match, he probably gets laid out by Andrade to set up New Beginning USA for the Global Heavyweight Championship. But it's going to be a good night for United Empire. It just won't be a perfect night. Jake Lee can't win, but I agree with Jay News. He just has to have a good matchup, not even a great matchup. He just has to have a good matchup to pay off everything that they've done in the lead up. But that is our predictions for the New Beginning in Osaka coming up next Wednesday, February 11th from Osaka at the Edion Arena. It's going to be available on NJPWWorld.com. The show goes live at 1 a.m. Eastern. That is 6 a.m. for us in the UK and 10 p.m. Pacific on I guess that's Tuesday night. So check it out if you can. If you can't watch it live, of course, it'll be on demand on NJPWWorld.com. But I had such a great time talking about everything New Japan related. It's been so long. It's been a whole month since I got to take to my best friends, my never open weight 6-man tag team champions when it comes to talking about NJPW. Sonal, thank you as always for joining us. We're going to give you the floor first. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and what you got going on over on Sonal's life.
Yeah, so as always, you can follow me on social media at wrestling_chat. I do like a good live tweet when I can catch up with the shows, but make sure to subscribe to me on Sonal's live. January has been very busy. I've been there sometimes 2 videos a week. So if you need somewhere to get your fix of New Japan, I do reviews, previews, special content. But I'm also, as I promised I would last year, delving into doing short news videos. So if you want to stay up to date on everything and just see my reactions to some of the weird things happening, make sure to subscribe.
And of course, J News. Let the people know where they can follow you on social media and when they'll see you back on the YouTube screens.
Yeah, so on the socials, you can follow me on the Twitter machine at JohnLYFNMG. Follow me over on Instagram at _JONJY. Catch me every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Hit the Rope podcast with the lovely Dolores. You will see me back here next Wednesday doing the review for the New Beginning show, obviously. So I'll be back here doing that. And yeah, that's the update on me.
All right. Yes, you can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. I'm going to try to wake up early in the morning on Wednesday, so I'll be live tweeting during the New Beginning in Osaka. So that's a great place to follow along with me there if you want to hear my immediate thoughts on the show. And like Jay News said, we'll be live at 1 p.m. 1:05 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. Me and Jay News breaking down everything that goes down from the New Beginning in Osaka show. We'll also have final predictions for the New Beginning on Osaka tomorrow morning, 10:05 a.m. Eastern time, the True Hill Heat flagship podcast. It will be myself, Jay News. No, it's not Jay News. The True Draw Josh. He will be giving you the Bum 15, his top 15 bums in all of professional wrestling. So be on the lookout for that, as well as Miss Chrissy Love will be here. And we got a special guest, Cresta Star from Fightful. She'll be joining us for the first half of the show to talk some Royal Rumble, to talk some WWE. So be on the lookout for that. And go over to True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment, as later on today we got True Hill Heat Check number 22 with our NBA trade deadline winners and losers. Me and Chris G breaking down all the big trades from this year's trade deadline from the NBA, and we'll give you the top 5 winners and losers from the trade deadline. If you like your wrestling content, check out all the great stuff we got here on the channel right now, like AE Ramble 235 Bases Loaded, reviewing this week's AEW Dynamite ahead of Grand Slam Australia. We got our WWE Royal Rumble 2026 review with myself, Wendy, and John Escudero of Dirt Sheet Radio. Check out Rated Raw Review number 105 with I Hate You, I've Always Hate You, talking about that Roman Reigns CM Punk epic promo from this past Monday's Raw, and the rest of the show with me and Top Guy JJ. And like I said before, I'll be live with you tomorrow, 10:05 a.m. Eastern time, the True Hill Heat flagship podcast to break everything down from the week that was in pro wrestling and all the latest news. But thank you so much to Sonal. Thank you so much to J News. And thank you so much to all of you. If you haven't already, drop the thumbs up, share this video, subscribe if you are new. For J News, for Sonal, it is me, your True Ill Phenom, SP3. This has been our NJPW, The New Beginning in Osaka 2026 preview. We are signing off until next time.